But what I get from his words is like, especially the last part, it's like, okay, the monks, the nuns, they sometimes seem to know more than us. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They're also normal people, so they're trying. And we are not monks, and we don't have, most of us don't have the aspiration to be monks and nuns. But maybe in that respect, we're not all that different. Uh, maybe the difference is that monks and nuns try harder than we do. What do you guys think? Why are we not monks or nuns? We have to do the same steps of renunciation.
I think the key part is realizing that our cravings are what are leading us onto the wrong path, and that if we can reduce our cravings, our desires for worldly objects, what we call in the text here sense objects, food, drink, TV, video games, fancy clothes, whatever it might be, a bigger and better car, a faster car. These are the desires and cravings that are leading us onto the wrong path. And through meditation, saying, I think that we should realize that and try to steer a slightly different direction.
Yeah, I think also, he's also pointing like, don't take yourself too seriously. And I think that goes exactly with what you were saying in the way you were talking about. Okay, you can't renounce food. You can't. Okay, but after a couple of weeks you die. You need food. And you're not you, but your body needs food. But so renouncing food is more or less bullshit. That's not going to happen. But you can renounce all the five-star Michelin restaurants where we normally go, and we have some street food. So you're not renouncing food, but maybe the high stuff. Think about the things that you choose for. Okay, you have a car. You're not, and that's not in Buddhism, I think, not to say like, I renounce cars, I renounce all the sense pleasures, driving a car, driving a motorbike, eating nice food, looking at a nice TV program. Buddhism doesn't say like, okay, leave all that, renounce all that. It's more the amount or the quality of that. It's like, okay, not a high class restaurant, not all the time TV, not all programs, it's the same with food. Having a car is not a wrong thing, but do you need a bigger car, a greater car? So I think it's more renunciation, the craving for maybe bigger things, not necessarily better, but bigger things.
Right, you don't have to say, don't have to eat food that's not delicious. I mean, certainly can, why not? The point is, wear good clothes, have a nice car, but the point is, I think, not to let that take over your life, not to let that become sort of sole objective in your life, and to realize that these are in fact ancillary things, if you like, that bring us pleasure, which is not a bad thing, but which shouldn't be allowed to take over our lives and become the center point of our lives.
Isn't that the word greed? If you don't renounce things, and then the opposite might be greed. And when I think of greed, it's
not thinking about other people. You are going
Yeah.
to mention not thinking about that.
Well, I think you can ask yourself, how much is enough? How much is enough for yourself? I'm an American. Since the 1960s, Americans have been having less kids, a lot of places in the world, and we've been building bigger and bigger houses. I grew up with the oldest of 4 kids. There were a lot of years, I didn't have my own room when I went to college. I was 18. I shared it with my 2 brothers. And, nowadays, if kids don't have their own computer or PlayStation, it's like child abuse. It's terrible where we've gone, where we've come as a culture.
งานสลักไม่ได้ปิด
I think if you say it's also very much saying the Western way of thinking that you have best, the biggest,
For the most.
or the most.
Yeah.
And this goes very much with the philosophy of enough.
Well, one of my friends told me, as an executive for this chain of restaurants in California, my friends told me that the downfall of human beings, their cultures, marketing. We all got caught up in marketing. I mean, it's part of our culture. And it's a matter of looking at this. I look at the TV on driving downtown and seeing immersed with marketing to go buy stuff. And I have to tell myself, well, that's really, really nice. But do I really need it? You know? But I want it. And we all want stuff. That's how we are. And I have to tell myself, do I really need that?
And the good marketing is that they show you products that you didn't know before that you needed them. Then you have good marketing. Like, not often, but sometimes I see things coming by on the internet, like, huh, what's that? There are things that I don't know what they are. And if you think most of the time a little bit deeper about whatever it is, it's like, does it do anything special? Okay, a machine that cuts your onion, just mention something. Okay, so you don't have to cut your onion, maybe you not have to check a certain peel if you cut an onion. And you have this beautiful machine who cuts onions.
Well, it's like buying a car today, buying a new car. Henry Ford came out with this Model T, and those models in the early 20s and 30s. You had lots of colors. You had black, and black.
Any color you want.
Nowadays, you've got like 20. You want to go order a car, go to Ford, GM, Fiat, wherever you want to go. And I grew up as a kid. We didn't have electric windows. We didn't have electric. Nowadays, you got your GPS and you got all your stuff there. It's just mind blowing. It'd be just nice to have a regular vehicle where you don't have to have involved in what are the colors you want for your interior. I mean, I don't really care. A lot of people do. And that was interesting. That's interesting about marketing. General Motors took over Ford back in the early 1940s because a lot of the housewives were during World War II. They started working, but they also wanted nice things. So General Motors came up with the idea of having nice interiors for the cars because housewives like the nice interiors. So that was a marketing ploy to sell more cars. So General Motors started selling more cars than Ford because the housewives were buying the cars. So I mean, that's what we're caught up in.
So the point is that what is the purpose? If the purpose is to enlighten, so we need to be among we have 108 person, none have 10%. For
Yeah, I think it also comes back again to initiation. In a way, when you say it's not in a way easy to do if we just renounce luxury. Because, okay, I was told with the onion machine, okay, maybe it goes faster cutting the onion, but you have to buy the machine, you have to get it out of the cupboard, you have to clean it afterwards. So it probably takes you more time to clean this one onion than just cut it. So many things you don't need, and this is yeah, it's the marketing, renouncing luxury things like, okay, this carpet is blue, but do we need blue? Do we need a carpet? Yeah, because it's nice and warm for our feet, but it looks nice.
Well, that's where we need to step back, because for me personally, I've been taking a lot of woodworking over a lot of years, build my own furniture. I also make my own pottery. I'm in California, I grow in the garden. And those things it's hard work. But I've been giving up a lot of some of the things that I built now. I have hand tools. My brother and I have completely different perspectives. He's retired, he has a lot of money. He built a great big giant shop that's full of all these incredible machines. And I just say, I can build all this stuff without the machines, which I do. And now he spent many thousand dollars, but it's incredible, and it's amazing. And I'm sure he can make, 50 chairs. I might make 2 chairs, but I'm happy actually doing the process of making them by hand. And he absolutely refuses to do anything by hand, because he's cut up in the machinery.
And who needs it?
And he's happy to go buy all this stuff $1,000, but I make it by hand. So,
There's something great with this equipment, he doesn't know how to do it.
oh, he does. He's a diesel mechanic also.
But I
No,
used
no,
to,
I work with his hands.
No, but yeah, I get more pleasure out of building something by hand. And that's part of this process. And we've had this discussion for a long time. He doesn't care about the process. He just wants the final product. He just wants the final thing right now. And I'm happy to go and it might take me, I do this greenwood building, I'll chop a piece up and that's out of the logs and steam them. And it might take me, takes me 3 days to make a chair. And it's sort of like nowadays, the school, I went to this design and craft school in Sweden, and one of the guys, he had another shop, and it's the CNB machinery. He could build an incredible, fantastic kitchen, like, all these cutters are done by computer. He can do a whole kitchen cabinet in 4 or 5 hours, where it might take 3 or 4 people a month to make a cabinet, to make a kitchen. And that's where we are today. Do we step back and make things ourselves? Or now we're caught up in this AI technology, and where as human beings we're just in the world of machines.
but do you think that your way is better than your brother's way, or is it just a different way?
I don't want to say better, but I think it's more satisfying
For you,
for me. It's more spiritual.
And for you?
For me,
for you, you get a lot of satisfaction out of the way that you work.
yes.
Does your brother get satisfaction?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? So why do you think he does it?
It's another thing between us. Maybe it's a personality thing. He's not a real compassionate person. I don't mean that about how we use our machines, but it's hard to put into words making things yourself and having a machine do it. And being marketed by you have to make it easier and easier. That's also part of marketing too, is to make our processes easier. I mean, human beings were made with this incredible brain and these 2 hands. We're not using it anymore. People don't use their hands to do things and to build things. And we used to work with people. I remember asking one of my ceramic instructor at the school when he thought that people were actually had a sustainable society. Probably about 200 years ago. Because now with our big city, mega cities, we're bringing all this stuff in to the big city. I said, that's just not sustainable.
it's about that in the Western world we miss resonance and connection. And I think what I feel strongly here, also stronger since I'm in Thailand, is this mixture of resonance and connection. When we're talking about objects or machines, materialistic things, they take our energy and they take our concentration and they take our humanity from us. And that's when we talk in all contexts of religious concept. We would call it evil, right? I mean, I don't use this terminology, but it drains our energy into something and it obsesses our minds. And then we're addicted to these things. And as I was finding in that text too, that it's not about say like, now I'm naked and I wander in the desert, so it's about better to withdraw yourself because these forces are stronger than you and you have to see how much you can train yourself to be in contact with it. And I like that concept of being much more in resonance and connection. And we in the West, we lost that, and that's why we lost the spirit and we lose our ability to grow. It's not about you or your brother or whatever who we live in.
Exactly.
I understand that, you know. And for example, when we had the walking meditation, I could feel it very strongly. I felt two things very interesting by observing that. One was that all the Westerners were walking. I found it very interesting because that's our, I think, I don't know the English word, unruhig, you say in German. It's our bit more nervous mind.
Unrest.
Fits more, but then we were all slowing down a bit, and I felt that we were very concentrating on ourselves, but we were very resonant. We didn't run into each other. And that's what I feel you can train when you put the spirit in the middle again. You can be self-centered, not ego-centered, self-centered, and you feel very clear the connection to what should be, what is good, and to concentrate on this more as human beings, as a group, and in the world. And we need that for the world. We need that.
Another thing that's very important we should mention is also our disconnection with the natural world.
Yes.
And which is happening more and more because let's face it, the good jobs in the big cities. And the one thing we're not talking about is quality of life. Sure, we don't talk about look at that cool car you just bought, you know, it's entertainment. You know, what about the lot area? Those are the things we need to be discussing. Whereas right now, with our culture, I mean, speaking as an American, I don't want to talk about it. Right now, it's just like we're willing to have a great big, beautiful, great big house. I can tell my friends, like, oh, what a cool house I got, when I'm breathing bad air, I'm drinking bad water. You know, these are choices we're making, which are not good.
I think, you know, I'm listening, I just think about I live in Yukon, I built a little log house, and I have electricity and internet, but I don't have running water, I have a outhouse in the yard, you know, that's where I go for to build. And
No, I've been talking about this. I've done a lot of timber frame buildings and log building. That's another thing you couldn't say too, because I lived in Montana a lot of years. And love the lifestyle in Montana. I started to move back there like 5 years ago. I was in Thailand, and I told my real estate agent, and she called me and she said, well, this is just before the lockdown. And I was flying back from California. And she said, well, wait till springtime, the market will stop and you get a good buy on this property. I get back in March, and in April, she says her phone was ringing off the hook. Property prices in Montana tripled, doubled and tripled in western Montana. And now it's just like, you know, I wanted to build a timber frame log place. But it's like, the culture now, they don't want you to live a simple life. And that's part of the market.
I hear a couple of things. It's like, first when you were talking, I had to think about, was it the book was Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance? That would be a good book to give to your brother as a birthday present. And I do recognize the thing like, no, I need the job done. I don't care how it's done, but I want the end product. And then I traveled a lot, and what's the big thing about traveling? Most of the time, it's not the moment that you get somewhere, but how do you get there? The the traveling, the act of going to the next place. On a plane, it's pretty boring because you get in. 12 hours later, you get out. You're in a completely different world. It doesn't matter where you fly to. 12 hours brings you to a different world. No question about it. For me, it took a long time. I was, I think, 27 or 28 before I was the first time in a plane. I really love to go overland. Might go by train, by car, hitchhiking, but then you can see landscapes change. Takes longer, but you, even if it's not all punches, but you see everything. You see the landscape change. I drive a motorbike, a big bike, so I travel all over Thailand. It's not going to a place. Yeah, it's nice to go somewhere so you have a destination. Otherwise, how do you
Well, that's,
plan your route? You have to plan your route.
we're,
But that's the fun part.
well, yeah, we're used to drive, getting in our cars and going, 80, 100 kilometers an hour. And that's why I have a bicycle, and it's nice just to go slow.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're trained to go faster and faster and faster. That's what our culture is doing. It's making us go faster and faster. And this AI stuff, it's really kind of disturbing.
Wanted to finish this one thing that doesn't matter how I live, it's my choice, right? And I don't see any problem with my doctor having a nice house, even in Yukon. He's making lots of money and he works lots of time, long time, and he has a big family. And he shouldn't really go into outhouse for the bill. He should pay for the heat tapes so plumbing doesn't freeze them, and it's just fine with me. But when you see the style of people live, even if we come, I don't want to talk politics here, but when we go to highest places, let's say Jimmy Carter spent his last year since he was president in pretty modest, and he was working for people, and he did all the stuff. Yes, he shouldn't go to our house, but does the guy who is there to do it, does he need a toilet made of gold?
It goes with your also said, Rick, before, like, good jobs in the city. And I'm like, that depends how you define good.
Well, we're here to go make money.
Yeah, but
I should say-
is that the highest that we have to go? Well, I have no problem I'm not renouncing money. Definitely not, please. You have too much, give it to me, no problem. But it's not my goal to get more and more and more and more. When I was younger, I'm starting to work, yeah, I want to make a promotion, I want to get more money. It's probably more about promotion than more money, because I always have to be salary. But now if I had $10,000 more a month to spend, I don't know where to spend it on. I have to buy bigger house, bigger cars, bigger things. I cannot eat more food than I do. It would not be good to eat, but I just can't. So I'm very much enough is enough, and a good job in the city. I'd rather have
Well,
a bad job outside.
That's the question you have to ask yourself: how much is enough?
Yes,
How much is enough?
and you will be often surprised how little can be enough.
Yeah,
Just
not
look
just what
around
is
you.
enough, sondern that we actually live in paradise, right? I mean, this is different. We can say how much is enough, and we still think of an idea of a reduced limit, and we need to have enough. But when you overcome that, and when the spirit leads you in a way that you're strong enough to say, like, there is enough, and whatever I need, I find it. It's there. And this is, again, this is not so complicated, and I see this in this text again. This is a training. I like the idea of scientific meditation. I have to think about it. I like that idea that you think how to stay in that spirit, to stay in the spirit that, oh, I'm missing right this, I go out. We all have that moment, right? I would like to feel like I want to eat an orange. Oh, there it is. Yes, we all have that. I think you can train that, and when you live in that, then the question of enough, what implies already, oh, it couldn't be enough, and I need to have something of somebody else who maybe have more, and how do I fill my needs? And this concept is more awake, and I think we need to teach our children and to train that sense of fulfillment, inside fulfillment, and this is enough. That there is enough for everybody, and there's enough in the world, that we not come in this concurrence of you have something and I want that, and this craving and greediness. And this is the key to keep a society, I think, peaceful. And again, when we look at West, good, I'm not following you the time, to train that and to teach children that think of there is enough, you are enough as a human being, and there is enough in the world. That would heal it. And we are so we in the West, in this rich society, we're shifting more. And I think that's why many people go somewhere else. Because we lose that spirit. We have lost
I
it.
think also on a very personal level, one should not have to chase more, or what the neighbor has or whatever, where you think, hey, this is what I have, it's okay, it's enough. Just thinking that, the calmness on your mind, it will liberate you too, I think. I think you think that too.
A good friend of ours, Tony's a very good friend from back in Canada. He's married to a Thai lady, he's been for more than 10 years. They have a gas station up in Mandu. And he said recently it's been broken into. And again, we could talk today, the Thai economy is really not very good. And it's been a lot of stress. And at first he said he got really angry. Had a couple break-ins at the gas station. They weren't able to get away with too much, because they had some security things. But then he stepped back and said, I'm not really all that angry, because he said there are a lot of people here now that are so desperate. They have families, they're married, they got kids now. They're having a really tough time making a living now. And so he stepped back and said, I'm not going to have cold anger about this person trying to break in there. He said, the guys, we're going to prosecute him. He did. The guy's got a wife and got 3 kids at home, lost his job. So, that's something we have to do for other people too. People have less than we do. It's good talk.
And what do you want to say? I do agree with you.
No, but
there is a limit.
Yeah, there's a limit too. I remember asking my grandfather, I was a little kid, and he was a young man during the Depression back in the 1930s. He was a real young man. He was one of these guys, back in the Depression in the 30s, there were about 250,000 American men, young men like in their early 20s and 30s, that just rode the rails looking for work. There was 35% unemployment in the United States in the 30s. And so he just rode the rails and he'd just take whatever job he could get. He'd go to these food kitchens. The church would have them. Some towns would have these places where people were starving. And he said it was really hard not to be a thief because you're no job, no nothing.
I guess it's different for everyone. What is enough? For a mystic or somebody very rich.
Well, that comes to the craving too, also, I think education too. It's like, there are some people who are incredibly, I won't even go into the health of where else, they're incredibly privileged, rich families. They know nothing else except to be rich. And they go to super expensive private schools, they've got yachts, boats, ski vacations in Switzerland or whatever they've got. They don't know anything else. So how do they know something like, I grew up in a very low middle class family. We didn't have much when I was a kid. My parents built a couple of businesses. We were in the timber business in Northern California. We built a really good business. It took a lot of years, but we worked. Said that still saving kids and like that. It worked. So, but how do you deal with someone who's got incredible? Well, sort of like the Buddha himself. When he left his riches,
วันนี้ฉันที่วัด
he
เลย
renounced all
คือ
that.
ฉันที่วัดไปคุยกัน
And that's renunciation is. I think that's good.
That's what the whole
That's-
greater.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like, how much is enough? And he got fed up, obviously he got fed up with it, he left. He left his riches. It'd be nice if we had a lot more people left their riches.
Yeah, it's also a question, if you're, let's say, born with a silver spoon in your mouth, how can you, for me, how can you be happy? Because if you're poor and you have enough to live, you're already rich. You don't have to be rich, but you feel rich. But how does someone with a silver spoon, where does he get the satisfaction from? Does it got to be a golden spoon?
More and more.
Yeah, because there is no,
No into it.
there's no end to it, but does it make you, for me, no, but does it make you happy? You go to the big house and you buy another big house. Does that make you really happy? I think the guy who doesn't have a house and has a little shelter, he will be much more happier. That's what I think. All right, anybody else to have a comment, maybe, like that, renunciation? You have to renounce a lot, of course, in the moment. More and more.
If we talk about renunciation, just about something like, can you renounce your ego to forgive your enemy? Or can you renounce your ego to let someone to be better than you? Can you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Just about to renounce your ego, your feeling, your emotion. And renunciation always comes with equanimity. Because if you can practice equanimity, so you can understand renunciation also. That is the point of renunciation, what we talk in Thailand. And renunciation and equanimity just are the same level, difficulty, the same level.
Yeah, I think that's what we mentioned here, about free from the ego mind
Yes.
and the bondage of samsara, so the
Yes.
circle of life and the life that we live in.
Just something like the way to break the samsara, things like that. And I like what he said about just our daily life just catch up in small pleasures. Just not small pleasure, small happiness. Just not of much value. That is true. That is correct. We always focus on small happiness, and we just skip the real happiness. And the last one that he said, if in my opinion, he said monks and nuns may not be renounced at all. Because sometimes just lay people, Buddhists just expect to monks too much, and they sometimes they just don't want to practice themselves. They just worship to monks and something like I will follow you to gain merit, only merit, and I something like I won't practice myself, something like this. Just want to catch up monks, something like this.
But not always perfect, right?
It just I think he who can like something like this, I think he is close to perfect. But
He's a high lama, he's a high lama.
Yes, because what he wants just to let people practice themselves. It is better than to catch up him. Yes, because if just get only married, but you still in the cycle, in the sangsaravat. If you want to break sangsaravat, you have to practice by yourself, something like this. I think his purpose is just something like this.
I do agree with you, yes.
Yeah.
Great, thank you very much. It's 11 o'clock and I think that's a good place to conclude the meeting for today. So we'll recite the closing prayer together on page 7 in the booklet. May whatever merit comes from this practice go